Okay, can we talk about how testing anxiety stinks and why I've been gone for a week and a half off of my social media platforms? But before we dive in, I did want to say thank you to 30K followers on TikTok. It feels absolutely surreal. Thank you for being here. Thank you for following me. I hope I can shed some positivity and supplementation to your academic journey. Now let's dive into testing anxiety and why it stinks. So, I am currently in a family nurse practitioner program and I had my exit exam recently, and I don't remember being so anxious during nursing school, but boy did I feel it this time. And I'm not just talking about anxiety during the test, but also leading up to the exam. And these were some tips and tricks that I used to help conquer and minimize my anxiety. So let's start off with my tip number 1. First thing that you can do to combat your testing anxiety is you need to start early, okay? Everybody doesn't know when to start, how to start, what to do. What I can tell you is sit down at your computer and do practice questions. If you don't have practice questions, review content. It doesn't matter where you start, you just need to start. Next, I identify my fears and my triggers. And when it comes to fears, I ask myself, what is the worst thing that can happen if I don't take this test? And typically, everybody freaks out and says, oh my God, I'm going to have to retake it, or I'm going to get held back a year. But I want you to put it into the perspective of your life. And also, if you're going into the nursing profession, there is nothing smooth about this profession when you're starting. It is a bumpy road and you have to be resilient. So take that and run with it and be confident that your biggest fear may not be so bad. And also identify your triggers. This one's actually pretty big for me because I love coffee. And I know when I drink too much coffee in one sitting, I tend to get tachycardic and I work myself up. So I feel my pulse in my throat. I can't focus. I'm freaking out. So yeah, I don't drink so much coffee before. Next, I want you to develop a consistent study plan. Now, what does that look like? So if my test was in 2 weeks, I would say, okay, today and every day moving forward, I'm going to do 25 to 50 questions. And I'm not just going to do the questions and get up, but I'm going to review the rationales and the content that was covered. Also, I'm not going to sit at my chair for 6 hours. I'm going to get up and give myself a break, right? Remember, your brain is a muscle. And it is pretty typical of me that when I'm studying for a big test, I go on 3 or 4 walks a day. Step 4, I want you to start implementing mindfulness. Now, this can look like deep breathing, meditation, stretching. I like to do deep breathing. That's what just worked for me. I close my eyes during the test and breathe. If you look at me, I'm probably with my eyes closed half the time. And that's it for the steps that I use to conquer my testing anxiety leading up to the exam. If you have any other tips and tricks that work for you, please let me know in the comments section. I love hearing from you guys. Honestly, testing anxiety is very subjective and everybody deals with it and approaches it differently. Now follow for part 2 where I talk about what I do within the few days leading up to the exam, as well as the techniques that I use on exam day. Thank you guys for being here and follow for more.